Chat. International break. Let me move my camera over here. International break. We gotta do some react to a player that I've been talking about for a while, man. Like, chat. If y'all know, y'all been watching my videos. Y'all know how I feel about Tchouameni in general. There's nothing special. When everybody was dragging him on the internet, I was the one that was keeping up for him. I'm like, bro, let it relax. 1 bad game, 2 bad games, bro. Let's chill out. But chat, we're doing a little deep dive on Tchouameni. I saw this video and I wanted to watch it. Europe has a serious Tchouameni problem. It's by Pet Talks Football, bro. I want to react to this real quick. Dropped it 3 weeks ago. Let's do it. International break. We got to throw some fucking Real Madrid content out there, chat. But chat, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Link. We do this live on Twitch. If you want to pull up, link will be below. Discord too. Pull up the Discord too, chat. Let's do it.
It's been balling.
Pull back for Tchouameni. Magnificent. His first.
We're just gonna listen to this video, chat.
Sí,
Let's
de
fucking
verdad,
go.
sí. Eso es lo de Toñi.
I didn't see
He's
this.
been in phenomenal form.
Tchouameni, who I thought was running around all over the place today and covering a whole lot of ground.
And honestly, looks like Real Madrid's most consistent midfielder.
Structure,
Yes, sir.
organization, more focus on defending through the midfield, more discipline.
I don't know if
in
he's
tracking
praising
back
him, though.
defensively, and how you go and press the ball together.
But the journey to this point
Cause ESPN been talking shit, so ESPN been talking shit, chat. So I don't know if that's a good clip or a bad
has
clip.
not been smooth at all.
He'll go and chase a ball that he doesn't need to chase. He gets himself out of position because it looks like the hero play to go and make a sliding tackle when he's never going to get there.
It wasn't that long ago that he was getting booed at the Bernabeu after
Bro,
a
for no-
shocking performance against
For no reason, by the way. He had like 1 or 2 bad games, but we're gonna let that happen. Let
AC
that ride.
Milan in the Champions League.
Oh, actually, I do remember that. Actually, never mind. I remember this.
Right. Oh, what's he not doing? Actually, more appropriately and more importantly.
Back then, a lot of people were ready to give up on him and even wanted the club
Like-
to sell
like
him. At
one,
his best,
two,
though,
3 bad games,
Tchouameni
bro.
is special.
And the way Tchouameni especially, who is going to be the energy guy out of those three, I thought was exceptional, bros.
When he has a solid, stable defense behind him and isn't constantly being moved back to center back, you can see
Hey, bro, yes,
the offense.
that is the main thing, chat. The main thing for Tchouameni was playing fucking center back, bro. He was playing that shit way too much, bro. And people, that's what it was. People would get mad at him for not playing good when he was playing center back. Like, bro, what are we doing here, bro? That's not his position.
He can fully
Like,
use
be
his
serious.
physicality and skills in that holding midfield role, or even as a deep line playmaker. At times, he plays these killer passes. We don't see it enough.
Yeah,
actually.
Tchouameni is
He's
really
also
good on
very
the ball.
strong, can shoot from long range, and is a real threat in the air too.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
glazing the crap out of.
We also don't send him a lot of corners, too. I think Tchouameni should get him the ball. A lot on the ball sometimes, bro. Like, we don't send him enough corners, chat. And he's way better on the ball than people give him credit for it. I'm gonna put that out there.
This guy, but he really is an elite midfielder at his best. So it's wild to see people who were criticizing him when he spent the majority of the time being asked to play out of position. Under
Exactly.
Arbeloa, he's finally playing in his more natural role
Okay,
as a holding midfielder.
let's not say under Arbeloa because Jabi was also a very, how do I say it? He was a very important person in the developmental aspect of Tchouameni, chat. Like, Jabi played this position. So Jabi put all the keys into Tchouameni. Like, Jabi didn't start this because I feel like Tchouameni was playing good before Jabi got here, but Jabi did evolve Tchouameni into like this next type of player, in my opinion. Because he gave him the keys to the whole team, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Jabi made Tchouameni the focal point of the whole team at one point. So we gotta give Jabi credit for that.
And the difference in his level, it's night and day. He's been immense this season. Pure
Amazing.
class. His positioning has improved a lot. His defending looks elite again.
That's why we
And
can't
he's
give
been
up on
saving Madrid in
Camavinga
the
either, bro.
midfield so many times. Now, of course, we have to point out that his improvements have also come from playing next to Camavinga while also having Fede Valverde back in midfield too. So as much as I'm glazing Tchouameni, his flaws haven't just magically disappeared. You still see him get beaten too easily on counters. He can still misplace tackles. And at times, he can struggle to play these line-breaking forward passes. But the difference
sometimes
is
he gotta
that he has
let
a
go
lot
the
more
ball
support
faster, though.
around him now. Camavinga can cover for him, or he can pass the ball to Fede and have him carry the ball. Both of these guys can help him escape pressure. He still needs a proper maestro next to him. Someone that can regularly make the passes that Tchouameni can't. Because a lot of times he was being asked to do too much. They wanted him to be an elite holding midfielder, but also to pass like Toni Kroos. That's just not possible.
True.
You are not the guy. You're not capable of being the guy.
Despite all the noise around him, though, his back-to-back man-of-the-match performances against Benfica silenced many of the doubts surrounding him. Because in the initial group stage, a lot of people were not fans of Tchouameni. But when it mattered the most, he locked in. He controlled the midfield. He won his duels. He protected that back line like a condom.
So much maturity, so much intelligence, on top of the very good qualities as a footballer that he has. But
I need to start watching,
the maturity
listening to the podcast again.
Like that made the difference for Real Madrid.
That's what a big game player looks like. And that's exactly the level Madrid expected from him when they signed him from Monaco. Because when he was signed by Madrid, I really thought the next top holding midfielders were going to be him, Declan Rice, and Rodri. Rodri ended up winning a Ballon d'Or.
Fake!
Declan Rice has been terrific for Arsenal, but Tchouameni never made that big jump. And it's weird because if you go back and watch his league highlights, it almost looks unfair what he's doing.
He's just a perfect modern midfielder in the sense that I really became one of the best midfielders in Ligue 1, if not the best even this season. So really one for now, but also for 10 years to come.
He was just so much bigger, stronger, and more complete than everyone around him. And keep in mind, he was only 21 years old at the time. He's like 6'2" with a powerful build, and even back then, he moved like a seasoned pro. He didn't look like a young player still learning the game. At Monaco, he usually played in a double pivot. His job was to win the ball back and start attacks. His main partner was Youssouf Fofana, and these guys were so good together that their fans mixed their names into one nickname, Fanamenia. Their balance in midfield made Monaco really hard to play against. So if you want to understand why Real Madrid were ready to spend close to 100 million euros on a holding midfielder, just go and look at Tchouameni's 2021 numbers. That year, the guy was everywhere defensively.
Interceptions.
Had him ranked as the best midfielder in the world for ball recoveries. He finished that year ranking near the top globally in tackles, interceptions, and just overall defensive action. You do not accidentally put up numbers like that. He was reading passes early, he stepped in at the right time, and he just dominated the duels. But the real reason people were excited
like a 1970 game, bro.
There's plenty of midfielders that can break shins and make tackles.
Exactly.
But there's not many that can do that and move the ball well.
But really, I think the best is to...
But that's what I'm happy this video is giving him credit for this, because like, a lot of people act like this man cannot fucking control the ball at all, bro. He can't make passes. He's a midfielder, bro. Like I don't like that narrative people put out there about him, bro.
He might have a bit of freedom.
Come on.
He could be that box to box at that number 8.
I mean, this guy was doing Rabanas in Ligue 1. He wasn't just breaking up plays. He was starting attacks himself. So as soon as he would win the ball back, immediately he would go forward. One quick touch or pass, and suddenly Monaco were on the counter. He was just so.
I feel like Madrid doesn't let him do this though.
Between the center backs to help them escape pressure, and other times he'd step forward himself and break the lines with his own abilities.
And go up and down the pitch. He's got that physical strength. He's good on the ball. He's been scoring goals.
Now, of course, he still had things to improve. His long lofted pass could sometimes hang in the air too long. But his short passing, decision making, and aerial strength were already at an elite level. And he wasn't just doing it against farmers in Ligue 1. One of his best performances came in a 3-0 win over PSG, where he completely dominated their midfield full of expensive stars. By the time he left Monaco, he had played 74 league games, scored 5 goals and added 6 assists. And he even helped France win the UEFA Nations League in 2021. Madrid were watching all of this closely. They knew that Casemiro wouldn't be there forever, and they needed someone who could defend and handle the pressure of playing at the Bernabeu. Well, Tchouameni checked every box. So
Tchouameni is also very calm, bro. He's very calm.
Their move. And naturally, the expectations around him instantly went through the roof.
Yeah, this year we sold
massive. I mean, he's gonna be the key player for Real Madrid in the next 10 years for me.
Because this move was massive. The club paid around 80 million euros, with reportedly another 20 million euros in add-ons, making him one of the most expensive signings ever.
Really?
Even with all of that pressure, Tchouameni's first season at Real Madrid went a lot smoother than I think people expected.
Yeah, it was pretty
incredible
good
for someone who's only 22 years old. And again, if you remember his first game against Almeria away, when it was very shaky for him and Camavinga, and he kind of came off early. For him to then have almost switched his mind.
Yeah, bro. That's one thing about Tchouameni, chat. He has that mindset. Like, he's really locked in. Like, he's a really locked in type of player, bro. He's very calm.
Player in such a key part of that team. I think he's a big credit for him. He will start the World Cup now for France.
Usually moving from Ligue 1 to La Liga is a big jump. We saw that with Mbappe. The game is more technical. There's way more lower blocks.
Yeah, it's still the leading scorer too.
Tchouameni's passing numbers actually improved compared to his time in Monaco. He looked comfortable right away, even when he was receiving the ball under pressure in front of the Bernabeu crowd. Of course, it's easy to fit into a midfield that has the likes of Toni Kroos and Luka Modric.
So the way those three worked, and the way Tchouameni especially, who was going to be the energy guy out of those three, I thought was exceptional, Jules.
Fantastic for a first Classico. Again, let's remind everyone that he's just been there.
Chat, I'd go back and watch that.
A few months, really.
While those guys controlled the tempo and creativity, Tchouameni did the dirty work. He won the ball back, he covered space. His job was to provide balance.
He'd been playing in the final,
that first
too.
season proved that he wasn't just shining in a smaller league. He wasn't a big fish in a small pond in France. He was somebody that could compete at the very top level of football. While his first season was about adjusting, the 2023-2024 season felt like his breakthrough year. Madrid dominated the season, winning La Liga, the Spanish Super Cup, and of course eventually the Champions League. Tchouameni played a big role in all of this success. He gave the team a strong defensive base, which allowed Jude Bellingham to push forward and score more freely, while Vinny had the freedom to attack without worrying too much about his defensive duties. This is why they had such an incredible Champions League run. Tchouameni featured in most of the knockout games, showing his strength, his positioning, all against the top teams like Man City and Bayern Munich. He looked like the elite jersey, by the way, the perfect replacement to Casemiro. But football, it can be brutal sometimes. During the dramatic semi-final second leg,
I'm not gonna lie, I think Tchouameni's better than Casemiro, but I love Casemiro though. But I think Tchouameni's a better player. But Casemiro did give us better moments. I'll say that. But yeah, I'm just say that.
At the Bernabeu, Tchouameni suffered a stress fracture in his left foot. It was a huge setback. The medical staff tried everything to get him ready, but in the end, Carlo Ancelotti confirmed he wouldn't be fit for the Champions League final against Borussia Dortmund. Now, Madrid still ended up winning the final 2-0, lifting their 15th European Cup. Tchouameni, of course, celebrated with the team. He had earned his winner's medal because of the big contributions he had made throughout the tournament. By the end of his second season, he had won La Liga and the Champions League, and it was a reminder of just how fast his rise at Madrid had been.
And that's why, you know, when Casemiro left to Man United, everyone in Madrid were like, why are Real Madrid not gonna sign anyone? And Real Madrid said to all the people, like, we don't need to sign anyone because we do trust in Tchouameni, and that's why we pay more than 80 million euros.
They signed him the year that they sold Casemiro, though.
He's gonna be the key player.
I thought they were gonna play together. Well, I thought he was gonna be his backup.
Real Madrid this year.
Now, if you looked at Tchouameni's career up until the summer of 2024, everything felt like it was going perfectly. He had adapted quickly, he won trophies, and looked like the future of Madrid's midfield. But as we have seen, football doesn't always move in a straight line. In the last few years, he's gone through the hardest stretch of his career, a period where his reputation has taken a hit. And what's worse is a lot of what has happened hasn't really been his fault. It all started with a massive injury crisis in Madrid's defense, when Eder Militao and David Alaba both suffered serious ACL injuries. Suddenly, Carlo Ancelotti had almost no options at center back. He needed someone tall, strong, who was also comfortable on the ball and physically
called somebody up. I ain't gonna lie.
Tchouameni fit that profile, so he got moved into defense more and more. In the 2024-2025 season alone, he played like 10 games as a makeshift center back because of
10. Yeah, it was more than 10. It had to be more than 10.
Ancelotti joked that he could become one of the best center backs in the world. Now, it sounds like praise, but in reality, Tchouameni really had to change his play style to continue playing at center back. And that's a big shift because playing in midfield and playing in the back line are totally different jobs. In midfield, Tchouameni could be aggressive. He could step forward, win duels, take risks in reading passes early. As a center back, he had to stay deeper. He had to hold the defensive line and play way more cautiously. He wasn't able to hunt the ball anymore. He was stuck near his own penalty area. Naturally, his defensive numbers dropped. And it wasn't really because he got worse as a player, it's just his role didn't really let him use his strengths. On top of that, building chemistry as a defender takes time, and he often looked uncomfortable next to Rudiger, with their communication mistakes leading to some messy defensive moments. At Madrid though, fans don't really care about the context, they just notice the mistakes. And unfortunately, the errors started to pile up. In an El Clasico against Barcelona, there was a handball incident inside the box that sparked a lot of controversy. Now, even though VAR didn't give it as a penalty, the criticism around Tchouameni got very loud. People called him lazy, said he looked slow, and there were a lot of suggestions for the club to already sell him.
There's lack of movement, there's lack of understanding how to play.
People don't have patience, man, at all,
man. Willingness to actually make the necessary movement and the necessary runs to get on the end of service. It's lazy. It's what it is. It's lazy.
The lowest point came in early of 2025 when Madrid lost 3-1 at home to a very weak AC Milan side. And Tchouameni's mistakes were right there in the spotlight. Then came a heavy 5-2 loss to Barcelona in the Spanish Super Cup. Not long after that, during a Copa del Rey match against Celta Vigo, the Bernabeu crowd loudly booed him when the lineup was announced.
Them fans don't play, chat.
That's one of the hardest things any player can experience, hearing your own fans turn against you. Of course, at Real Madrid, this is very common, but still, reportedly, his teammates really respected how he kept playing through it. Now, part of the frustration was that even though he had been at Madrid for a few years now, he hadn't developed in the way that people thought he would. Now, of course, injuries didn't help him. He had been dealing with foot problems ever since a metatarsal injury in the 2023 El Clasico. He even traveled to New York to see a specialist, and Madrid had carefully managed his minutes since then. Some people inside the club reportedly believe that the constant injury management had stopped him from reaching his highest level consistently. On top of that, Toni Kroos' sudden retirement forced Tchouameni to take on a bigger role in the build-up play. He had to take more responsibility with the ball. Now, statistically, he actually did well in the 2024-2025
it's not a bad thing for him.
Season.
Yeah, like I said, he's not really bad on the ball. So, like, I mean, not. But, bro, you do gotta grow up, and Toni Kroos and Modric's not around anymore. You do gotta take a little bit.
He had the highest passing accuracy among Madrid's midfielders who had played more than 500 La Liga minutes, sitting at 92.8% pass accuracy. His long passing had increased too, going from about 5.1 long balls per game to 6.9, a part of Kroos' game that Madrid clearly missed. You could see Tchouameni dropping deeper between the center backs and switching play more often. Still though, naturally, Madrid looked nowhere near as fluid as they did with Kroos. Tchouameni just isn't the same kind of player. He's way closer to a Casemiro than he is to a Kroos or Modric. Many believe the real problem had nothing to do with Tchouameni individually, but the overall structure of the team. There were so many attacking players ahead of Tchouameni that he often got left exposed defensively. I mean, there are times recently, ever since Mbappe joined, where Madrid are defending with like 9 men. Now, despite the opinion of some fans, inside the club, reportedly, nobody had made any big judgments about his future. The whistles at the Bernabeu were seen as part of playing for a giant club. And funny enough, Madrid didn't actually improve in the matches after Tchouameni was taken off, which again showed that the problems went way deeper than just one player. It's not like Madrid were losing those games.
Big thing, bro. It comes up when people start talking about like the whole controller type of thing, bro. I just believe there's different ways to play, bro. I don't necessarily think you need a controller in your team. I just think you need to figure out how and what fits your team and what type of play style fit. That's a coach's job in general. Like I know sometimes we blame the board for not replacing Toni Kroos and all of that, bro. But to a certain point, bro, it's nice having a controlling team. But I feel like to a certain point, you have these world class players, bro. You gotta make it work. You gotta find something to work. Like these are some of the best players in the world, bro. Other teams don't get how do I say it? You don't get a luxury to have these type of players. Yeah, like you gotta fit some of the pieces, but you can also figure it out. You got an athletic midfield that can kill it, bro. They can run for days. They don't get tired. They can carry. They're good on the ball. They can pass. But they're like one of their main features combined. All of them is they're all athletic, chat. And you gotta use. I think that is the main core of it. Like Barca's midfield, they're all very technically good on the ball, so they use it. Like their passing is really good, so they use it to keep the ball alive. But us, we can run. We run a lot, but we can do everything too. So I think focusing on that aspect of the athleticism and their ball carrying is what we have to use as a team. So that control thing I understand, but I feel like you also gotta fit your players, which we gotta create a system to fit the players. And that's what Aurélien is kind of doing right now, and I kind of like it.
It's all because of Tchouameni. That's exactly why many of the problems continued under Xabi Alonso in the new season.
That's not true.
Madrid promoted Arbeloa from Castilla.
That's not true. That's not true. That is not true at all. Like I said, bro, Xabi Alonso is one of the big reasons why Tchouameni is who he is right now. Let's ignore that. I don't like that. That's not a good thing to say.
In the new season. That's why Madrid promoted Arbeloa from Castilla. Now, a lot of people didn't know what to expect, but the first thing that Arbeloa did was just make things less complicated. He's not a coach who loves overthinking tactics. He's not a tactico. He had a straightforward, practical idea. He wanted the team to stay compact, defend well, press hard, and attack quickly when the chances come. That's why he changed the system. He scrapped the hybrid 3-4-1-2 setup that Xabi was trying to implement and went to a classic back four.
And the
biggest winner from that change was Tchouameni, because now he wasn't being asked to drop into defense or play this center back / holding midfield hybrid role.
But he was playing good at that.
He was playing really good at that. Which is being a pure 6. No more emergency center back experiments, no more moving around. He was just told to sit in front of the back line, win the ball, and move it forward quickly, which is basically what he had done at Monaco. Once he returned to the midfield, his defensive numbers jumped, his ball recoveries went up, and his success in defensive duels improved massively. And with Tchouameni anchoring the midfield again, the whole team improved. Camavinga and Valverde had more freedom to press higher up the pitch because they trusted Tchouameni to cover
and pressing,
chat.
This midfield can press. They can fucking run, bro. So gotta use it.
Player looked more creative. Madrid were now holding more possession. They were scoring more goals per game, and defensively they were allowing fewer shots. This is why they were able to win 5 straight league games, and at one point even moved ahead of Barcelona when they were behind them when Xavi was sacked. The same supporters who had been booing Tchouameni.
Bro, okay, all right, bro. Some of the stuff you're saying is, yeah, fuck with your video, but some of the stuff you're saying is wrong, bro. We were ahead of Barcelona with like 5-7 points first too before we fell back and went up again. Come on, bro. We went up for like a week.
Ahead of Barcelona when they were behind them when Xavi was sacked. The same supporters who had been booing Tchouameni before are now praising him again. Many feel they have misjudged him, especially after how
always been a Tchouameni.
The reality is there's
FC,
a night and day difference between Tchouameni as a center back and him as a holding midfielder, and it shows you how quickly things can change when a player is used in the right way. Speaking of players used in the right way, to see how Trent has transformed this Real Madrid side from right.
I might watch this video too, but chat www. Good video. I fuck with your video. Some of the stuff you're saying, I fuck with the video. But like I said, chat, Tchouameni is a very special player, and I think we should start giving him his props because a lot of people be trying to talk shit about Tchouameni, but Tchouameni is him, bro. He's him, good on the ball. He has one bad game, and a lot of people start blowing him out of proportion on the internet. I don't like that. But chat, I appreciate y'all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what y'all thought about the video. Go sub to him. This is a really good video. And yeah. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. All right.